All right. It's Sunday. It's 11. Shall we? Methinks we shall. Oh, my wife's joining us. How nice is that? She's outside in the front yard. Thank you guys for making it today. It's nice to see you. To see you on a fine Sunday. And by you, I mean see your chats. For those of you new to My Yoga Better, if you're watching the video on the webpage, cool. If you click on the video, you'll see a little YouTube icon. That'll take you to the app. Hello, Stacy, Eleanor. Or the webpage. And that'll get you started on chatting. So if you want to give us a chat, got a question, something burning, a pun that you cannot keep in, a noop, then that's for you. Come on down. Here's my right leg. I'm standing on a block. It's unfortunate for the block. Ugh. Today's cup brought to you by Prague. This is a handmade cup. Very cool. It's actually stamped with the name of this tiny little coffee shop. You have to literally walk into like an old Soviet apartment block, go into the carport, go through a tunnel, and it opens up into their courtyard, which is dreary and ugly, and then you look right in the courtyard that opens into this beautifully done coffee shop called Supertramp. Let's catch this right knee, shoulders down, chest up. And one of the things that's so great about most of Europe is how much they care about coffee, particularly Prague and Berlin, the Netherlands. Anyway, this got brought to you by Supertramp Coffee. Let's take the right knee over to the right. One more deep breath. I did good. Still holding onto this right knee. I'm going to twist my upper body relative to the knee and kick the hips forward. So now my left hand's holding the right knee. Hips are trying to be forward as you arch that chest up. Smooth, smooth inhales. Last breath. Don't step off the block. See if you can squish 2 feet on the block. Isn't that nice? Go ahead and close your eyes. Head pushes up. Focus. This is our chance to sort of settle in, accept our fate. No, it's going to be terrible. I say this quite seriously. In our normal practice, let's look down at the block and center the right foot on the block. Your right hand catches this left knee. Shoulders down, chest up. We talk about this idea of I do the hard practice so that everything else in life is trivial by comparison. On a physical level, if I do 100 quad burners, then getting out of a chair in 2 weeks will be trivial. That first week, getting out of a chair is a real problem. But we're making everything in life easier by doing things the hard way, by giving ourselves these challenges. But then I also use the analogy, when I deal with people and their upsets, it's pretty hard to offend me. And of course I practice on being unoffendable. Let's take this left knee over to the left. I practice being unoffendable, which helps me get better at it, but the reality is, what can you say to me? What words can you say to me that are 1/100th of as uncomfortable as 100 quad burners are to myself. And I'm doing that to me. Let's bring that left knee back to center. You twist towards the front leg. Are you breathing? So I do these things that are so much harder and elicit so much more discomfort than anything anyone or life situation can bring. Let's take the hips forward with our twist. And I love remembering that. And this time more than any, we're practicing. So I'm giving myself to the practice. And notice if you start to suffer, it's because you're wishing you weren't feeling what the practice is eliciting. You haven't completely surrendered to the practice yet. And I love the hard practice. Let's walk around. Give our feet a little break. The hard practice is you deciding to give an hour of your life to be uncomfortable as an investment in the future. And so when life gets actually hard, when there's issues with your finances, when there's issues with your family, eventually, if you live long enough, there's going to be issues with your health. That's literally the deal we made when we decided to stay alive. I'm doing a double calf stretch here. Got both feet on the block. Just do the best you can. If you can't quite get both feet on, try getting your toes on and shift your hips forward. I have my heels down, bridge of the foot on the block. If your block is flipping up on you, that means that your heels are too far away. So the block has slid away from you or your heels have slid back. So make sure the block doesn't slide. See if you can scoot your heels closer to the block and that'll flatten it out. Chest up, toes up. Good. See if you can pick your heels up. All the way up. Whee. And then we lower. And then we lift. And then we lower. Outstanding. Make sure you can reach both of your blocks for the work we're going to do on the wall. Feet forward. Hips on the wall. My wife is using a tree as a wall, which I'm super excited for her butt right now. Maybe she could use a towel. She should probably run in the house and get a towel. And put a towel between her tailbone and the wall. So my knees are bent. This is all standard stuff. Please do this a little bit frequently. Every day is fine, but I'm always looking, exploring, playing. This turns out to be a pretty safe way to develop sort of the nice, slow, accumulative suffering we want to practice in our legs for various leg strengthening work. So a little bit every day. It's a fantastic process. If you start to feel like the tailbone is bruised, then take a week off or something, because the bones are pretty close to the surface. There's not a lot of fatty stuff between the sacrum and the floor. I mean, you might have a big enough badonkadonk that there's sort of some padding, but even as you tip forward, you can feel that the sacrum actually rolls out. It bows out the lower it goes. So let's take the head and shoulders back on the wall. Take your hips 1 inch off the wall. Chest up. Nice natural curve. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So good. Hips back on the wall. Pick your heels up. What's it like to inhale here? Here we go. We fold forward. Arms out, chest up. We're almost there. Most of you know that was a lie. There is no there, and we know. We know that. Good. We get a block. You grab it. Try to rip the block into two pieces, arms straight, arms out. We bring our body back up. Let's keep the tailbone on the wall. Head, shoulders, and block 1 inch off the wall. Last breath. Nothing fancy, we're just going to put this block under the butt. Take your feet as wide as the block is in its second widest dimension. Butt comes on the block. Check out the neck. Outstanding. Look at your feet, make sure they're nice and parallel. Hug your knees. So I have my elbows on the outside of the knees. I caught my fingies. Now I have baby short arms, so I have to let the scapula move a little bit forward for this. To slouch just a little bit. And so what you do, once you catch your fingies, I'm just using sort of this is a pommel or C, some kind of wrestler's grip. I don't quite remember what the name is. And shoulder blades pull down the back. Everybody arch up the chest. For those of you wrestlers, former wrestlers, you might remind me what this grip is. Chest up, chest up. How much of your chest, your sternum, can you actually free? Can you get up in between the shoulders? Now seat the scapula down. Now pick your hips up 1 inch. This is number 1. If you can't quite get your hips up, you can still do the second thing, which is to now push your knees out into your arms. Try to break the grip of your hands with your butt. Are you breathing? Now my wife is at the tree, and right at the base of the tree is a nice downward slope. And I guarantee you how thrilled she is that her heels are down, because she's got that nice heel elevation. However hard you're pushing your knees out, double it. 3, 2. After this class, 1, we have a seat. We'll get all the links up for the last week or so videos. Thank you guys for being patient with that. Oh, arch up any of that work in lower back. Ugh, slouching is so bad. Check it out. As a matter of fact, let's check our forward bend out. What do we do to that? I like to have longer arms with my block. We shift the hips. If you can straighten your legs, groovy, make sure you still have a natural curve in lower back. We're fighting for those shirt crinkles as we shift. Image is looking a lot better. We've done a lot of work on trying to make it work. This room with, there's 3 big windows in the room. And natural light is the enemy of good video production. I don't know if you know that, but we're making it work. Feet is wider than the mat. We shift the hips left and right. Ooh, I think it looks pretty good these days. Should sound pretty good too. We're having fun working on new things to earn your business and earn your trust and support our community in this time. Really appreciate the $10 a month. It makes a huge, huge difference. And we don't like the environment that it's happening in, but we love that you guys are having some success in habituating, practicing at home, allowing us to support you. I hope it's making a difference. All right, now let's take care of ourselves by becoming very rigorous about this. Bend your knees and take your elbows on the blocks in their tallest dimension. So I flip the blocks to their tallest dimension. My feet are still parallel to the edges of the mat, and I bend the knees. Now this is where everyone will start. If you can't quite get your elbows to the blocks, then you just arch up with your hands on the blocks. That's okay. Now everyone, I insist that you show me a natural curve. Belly button pushes towards the thighs in between the, towards the floor in between the thighs. Arch your chest up and away from the floor. I want to see shirt crinkles in your lower back. This should instantaneously make this pose unpleasant. Shift your weight back on your heels, pretty please. 3, 2, good. Now a few of you can straighten your legs. I'm going to let you straighten your legs. Everybody shifts their hips left and right. Now for those of you who are straightening your legs or trying to straighten your legs, the fight that I want you to participate in. Remember, some things are worth the fight. You don't get to straighten your legs if your lower back begins to bow up. We're not about that. Fighting for that natural curve. Okay, feet still parallel. I bend the knees again, sink the hips, and everybody press the knees apart. We're getting there. Weight shifts back, back, back. Hips are trying to be pretty low. Looks like a few of us are having some connection issues. I'm so sorry. Technical issues can be quite stressful. You sort of get in the groove and then all of a sudden the class is interrupted. That is, of course, the drawback of these virtual classes, particularly with the added complexity of it being live. There's a lot of places that we can have trouble with the connection. So if you ever get trouble with connection, you can go back to a previous YouTube class. Just click on the link, it'll take you right to the beginning of class. Anybody starting to feel their legs? Don't strain your legs, sink your hips even lower. Press your knees even wider and shift the weight even further back on the heels. Are you arching up? Are you breathing? And finally, let's take a break. I flip the blocks. Arch that chest up. Let's shift the hips. Yay! Oh, sweet relief. Normally this time we'd be at Pralaya, Robert's studio over there in Montrose. Oh, for almost 10 years that was the only public class I taught in the city of Houston. It was kind of a fun, weirdly isolated thing before we opened the studio. Before my wife insisted we had a studio. Let's take your feet parallel. We'll come into our squat. Feet parallel, hip width. If your heels come up, great. If you can keep your heels down, awesome. Now the blocks are in front of us instead of under the tush. Chest up. You know what's coming. So breathe. Breathe preemptively. Charge your system. Open the chest. Spend time at the top of the breath. Robert's doing his live classes. If you haven't checked those out, if you're a fan of Robert, support the studio. He's got a much bigger bill than I do for our studio. And if Robert's studio goes away, it will be a very bad thing for Robert. We'll be fine. Our studio is for the love of you guys, and it's for fun. If it goes away, we can start it again pretty easily. Perlaya is Robert's life right now. And so let's support him if you can. Smooth, expansive breaths. Open that chest. I've always taught at Robert's to support the studio. I love that guy. He's my yoga dad in many ways, in the most important ways. Let's check out our forward bend again, briefly. Shift the hips. What I say is, Robert gave me many gifts. I took 4 years of him I took 4 of his teacher trainings. I taught his teacher training for another 4 years, and I started studying with him in 1997. I knew him when he had dark black hair and a ponytail. Let's come back into our squat momentarily. Then we'll come back into our forward bend. Make sure you keep your chest up, keep your face away from your shins. And we're going to start with these slow quad burners. Robert saved my life. But the main gifts he gave me that still inform my practice and sort of are in the background, and we're explicit about it, and we actually share with our students in our style, is the freedom. The way I put it is the freedom to apostatize yourself from the sort of almost religious habit of saying that there's one way to do yoga. He's a student of Iyengar. We're all on the Iyengar lineage, and yet he didn't teach what Iyengar taught or how Iyengar taught. And when he teaches his students, some people actually might have a criticism of him, that if you go to a student of Robert at his studio, that his teachers don't teach like him. Let's do last maybe 4 or 5 on your own, chest up, smooth inhales. And in my mind, that's actually a beautiful thing, that he actually he liberates you to teach in a way that works for you, to sort of cultivate your own style. We are definitely adherents to that. We love that. And basically, every yoga teacher in the city of Houston is on the Robert lineage. He's been here for so long. He's had a huge influence on style of yoga. Everyone teaches here in the States, from the languaging to the sequencing to the creation. Check out the neck, crackle crunch. Outstanding. Check out your forward bend, see how different it is. You call those quad burners. I hope you have figured out why. Alright, now we don't want to spend a lot of time putting our hands on blocks, but we're going to put our hands on blocks here. So I'm going to turn my blocks and put them on the front 2 corners of the mat, like so. I'm going to step back. A little complicated, so you don't have to come out of the pose, but watch me for a moment. I know it's a little bit weird to give you complicated choreography, but here we go. We're going to go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It's very complicated. Right, left. Most of you have already messed it up. Right, left, right, left, right. It's only right, left, right, left, right, left. You never switch. That means your right hand is always the first one to move. Right, left, right, left. Don't switch. Right, left, right. So I'm going to the left of the blocks, on the blocks. Going to the right of the blocks, on the blocks. My right hand is always the first to move. Okay. Now I know you just got comfortable with that, and now we're going to mix it up. This is the medium class. This is medium hard. We are on the way to hard. So if this is hard for you, it just means you're in the right class. Now we're going to go the other, probably even more complicated choreography. This is called left, right, 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 left, right. Did my wife give up? Is she inside? Too many skeeters? Good. Good, good, good. Grip those blocks. Take your shoulders over your wrists. They're not going to be here long. The problem with working on squishy blocks, of course, is that your wrists compress a little bit more. But the benefit, the boon of working on blocks is I get to grip something. So my thumb is off the inside edge, pinkies at least are off the outside edge. I try to punch holes, literally try to ruin your blocks with the pinch. Now notice my index fingers, middle fingers actually aren't off the edge because I got tiny little baby hands, but I'm still going to grip those fingertips. I'm in a quasi push-up position. It's like a high-hipped push-up position. Shoulders over the wrists, chest up, grippity grip. Outstanding. We get rid of one block. We set the other block ominously between our elbows, where our elbows would be were we to start doing down dog push-ups. Smooth, expansive breaths. And here we go. Now, I'm going to take my hands a little bit narrower. I've turned so you guys can see. If I ever reorient relative to the camera, it's just so you guys can get a little bit better data, better angle. You stay right where you are on the mat. You don't have to follow me unless we're doing something different. So now, everybody bend your right elbow and touch the right elbow to the block. It's not touching the floor, it's just touching the block. So it means my elbow is basically an inch off the floor, just kissing the inside edge of the block. That's all. Now, that bent right elbow really isn't a problem. What's the problem is how straight can you keep your left elbow? That's where we start getting into trouble. Okay, you straighten that right arm, left elbow touches, just a little touch. Every now and again breathing. Outstanding. So this is the sort of the mechanics, the simplified mechanics of arm cookers. I bend an elbow and I kiss, I bend the other elbow and I kiss. But we have this block here, and that's just boring, and you don't want to scooch around a block. So what we're going to do is something a little more interesting. If this is too hard, you touch your knees down, but try it with your knees up first. Bend your right elbow, touch your right elbow to the inside of the block. No problem. Now bend your left elbow also, and kiss the inside of the block, outside the block rather. Boop. And now we're going to do little one-arm arm cookers with your left arm, bending and straightening. But at the bottom point, I have two elbows, 1 inch off the floor, touching the block without touching the floor. Oh, that's good. Every once in a while, single ladies comes out. Good. Straighten that right arm. Left elbow just touching the inside of that block. Boop, that edge. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Whose idea was this? This sucks. Ooh. Don't let your elbows touch the floor. That would suck also. Good. Straighten both arms. Take your hands as wide as the block. Notice you've been tightening your neck. You're using the straight arm. That scapula is rolling up towards the ears. You hear this instruction all the time, biceps by your ears. That is, from the Yoga Better perspective, crazy talk. Everybody gets your shoulder blades away from the ears. Arch your chest up till your head is above the arms. Even with this narrow hand position, with the hands narrow and the chest arch up, you can feel pecs, can't you? Pec minor starting to turn on. Deep fibers of anterior delt, and the clavicular lines of pectoralis. Shoulder blades down away from the ears, bend both elbows, catch your block, you straighten the arms. Just a little catch. Bend your elbows, gently set the block down, straighten your arms without the block. Catch the block, straighten your arms with, bend the elbow, straighten your arms without. Catch the block with, set it down without. We'll just do 20. Terrible. Last 5. Good. Get rid of the block. Take your elbows on the floor. Rejoice. Tick tock the head, crackle crunch. See what's going on in the neck. Swap the feet back, we'll come all the way flat. Yay for reading pose. Notice that even here, scapula want to be earward, right? Skyward. They want to elevate. Here we want to depress. I shared my evolution of my wife's joke from yesterday morning. She said, don't go to a party with your scapula depressed because you'd be a downer. And that's true. But I think we should all be loud and proud about what down nerds we are. When it comes to scapulae, be a down nerd. Be nerdy. And be downy. Be soft. Like a dryer sheet. We'll all be downy. Hands flat. Straighten the arms. A little bit of cobra. The thighs, the pelvis, and the belly, best you can, are trying to relax on the floor. Scapula is pulling down. Don't bend your elbows or let your shoulder blades come up. Just to win the pose. All right, shoulder blades down, belly, the spine. Focus on your spine, trying to relax to the floor. Now let's make this interesting. Pull your belly button up. Try to touch the inside of your spine with your belly button, but don't let that flatten the chest. I'm still trying to arch up, still feeling the pelvis and lower back relax toward the floor. And as I suck my belly button up, trying to touch the inside of the spine with belly button, I should actually feel a stronger contraction lower back. If you're not feeling a stronger contraction lower back, let me know, and I'll come over and adjust you. Stacy, I'm building the stall bars today, so expect a yell I guess I got a mask and I can disinfect everything. Come over. Anyway, sometime this afternoon, if it don't rain, it keeps raining on me. One more breath. And the best part, everybody gets to take a break. Stack your hands, set the head down. How cool is that? We've been doing this almost a month, which is crazy, isn't it? 16 classes a week. I hope we've been making a difference. It's hard. Some of you have already noticed that it's hard to let people contribute to you, to let them help. It's embarrassing to be in a situation where you might actually need help. For those of you that have reached out to us, thank you for that. If you need help, let us support you. We're all hurting from this stuff, but what we have an unlimited supply of is a bounty of insight into how to feel better. And our lives are literally for you to feel better, not to get your dollar bills. We got 4 kids and we care about our future. So we exchange our life for dollar bills, but if you're hurting, let us help. Give us an email, give us a call. How completely can you relax here on the floor? If you're outside under a tree, don't get distracted by the sounds, but rather allow the sounds to wash over you and notice the sensations of your body. Feel the unevenness of the ground. Feel the wind on your skin. Getting distracted by visual data or oral data tends to take, it absolutely pulls you out of your body. Obviously you're always in your body, but pulls your attention away from the sensations your body's sending. And this hour isn't to listen to stuff. Even me, really. It's okay if you fall asleep or get distracted from me, as long as what you're getting distracted by is a sensation. There we go. Hands on the waist, chin in the floor. Oh. Did you hear Brad Pitt's ex-wife became a yoga instructor and changed her name? Yeah, it's Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer. She does a lot of tripod headstands with her chin down, or like is that like an elevated peacock? Here we go. Hands on the waist. We come from Jennifer Aniston to up dog without your arms. So like a half bow. Keep your feet on the floor. Come down. Remember, we're abode some things, but we're not abode others. So enjoy this half bow. Up dog, something or other. Head comes low, head comes high. Everybody's breathing. See if you can get your ribs off of the floor at the high point. And notice that you're probably using momentum. You're sort of jerking into the position. Go slow enough that there's actually a little moment at the top, at the apogee of the movement, that you stop and you enjoy, you appreciate. Still going. Good. Pick your legs up. Continue. Good. Hands low for up dog. Give your neck a chance to turn off upper trapezius. You ever get lightheaded in these positions? It just means you're crunching the back of the neck. It's totally normal. You just come down, take a breath. And it'll get better. We twist the upper body. Oh, the loud dogs. Oh, it's time. We come to elbows and knees. We get to take a little moment, but let's turn towards the wall. Ominously. So I'm facing the wall on elbows and knees. Stack your hands, set the head down. Every little bit of tension in the back of your neck. You let that go. All that meat around your shoulders. Can you give that up? All right. You're only going to do 2 sets, 2 positions. The first, if you can't kick up and stay up, all you're going to do is jump 5 kicks on each leg. That's it. And you'll come down and you'll take a break. For the rest of us, for those of you who can get up, even if you can balance, go ahead and get up and touch your toes to the wall. No big deal. We're going to stay for 1 minute. For those of you who are jumping, don't hit the floor hard with your feet. Make sure it's a nice, sweet, soft touch. As quiet as you possibly can. Your feet hitting the ground hard just means future foot dysfunction. It is absolutely possible to break a bone, but more likely you're just going to create the conditions for a bunion to really thrive. You're going to bruise the bones in your feet and wonder why your feet hurt. It's a real bummer. And all that can be avoided from the very beginning. We just put some attention. Don't let your feet hit the ground hard. And if it is, see if you can try to play with and challenge yourself to soften that stuff up. 15 seconds. Everybody's breathing. It's okay if you can't get up. Just do your 10 kicks, and then you sit back on your heels. 10 seconds. Everybody, point your toes, sit back on the heels, chest up. Check out the neck. Working with elbows down is so good to impact how crazy your neck is. It is a crazy place, a wild and crazy place. And the good news is we're only going to do that one more time. Yay! Just twice. Twice is all. All is twice. Now I'm going to challenge you this time, if you did 5 kicks on the last leg, again, if you can't get up, it's not a big deal. Now I'm going to challenge you to try to do 10 on each leg. We went from kind of hard to harder. And your brain says, Andrew, that doesn't make any sense. I couldn't do the other one very well. Yeah. We want to make 5 jumps be trivial. And how we do that, of course, is we do 10. Do 10 pretty regularly. If I could give you one program for your jumps, 10 on each leg, 5 days a week. That's 5,200 jumps a year. You're going to get strong if you do that. Here we go. Let's do a minute. 10 kicks on each leg. For those of you who are up,
We're going to be up for a minute and then another 30 seconds. Smooth, deep breaths. Now, for those of you who can balance, instead of worrying about balance, close your eyes and play with balance. Make sure you're not worrying about the time. I'll let you know when we're coming out. Either you're kicking 10 kicks on each leg with soft little sweet touches, or you got your toes on the wall, or you got your eyes closed, playing with balance. Nobody falls out. We want to stay the whole time, remember? We don't want a little break. How are we doing? Go. 30 seconds. So good. Make sure your head isn't on the floor. It's a forearm stand, not a forehead stand. Five seconds. And we're going to come from this position to sitting on a block. Get your feet nice and close. Elevate the tush. Ooh. Listening to things is a beautiful practice. It's helpful. I actually recommend it. As a musician, set aside time and listen to music, but listen deeply with every fiber of your body. But that's very different than what we're practicing here. We are here to feel what's true for our bodies today. There's a whole host of novel sensations. You've never felt them, and this is your chance. In our last few moments together, find a comfortable way to sit with your feet as close as you can, your knees as low as they can be. That'll help you get your chest upright. Imagine I'm standing behind you, pulling your head up. Get extra tall. Feel the weight of your arms pull scapula down. And find the way to continue to come back to sensations in your body. Tick-tock the head. If you haven't checked out the sequencing or anatomy courses, look at those online. They're on yogabetter.com under courses. We have our breathing and our how to measure stuff. workshops. They'll be up for purchase here pretty soon. Registration for teacher training is up. It's going to be a really great combination of streaming and pre-recorded classes. You get a lot of stuff you don't normally get in the in-person course. You're going to make it worth your money. And if I never see you again, not that I'm seeing you now, but if you never take another Yoga Better class, and there's space for you to remember one thing from this class, take a deep inhale. And then my life will have been worth something. Make these inhales count. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what it takes for you to invest in your health. So much. It's such a big deal. Houston, without you healthy, really is a less livable city. So thank you for making our city great. Self high fives. High fives to you. Happy Sunday. Please get outside. Just don't hug anybody. Don't get closer than you need to. And know that we guys love you. We love you guys. There we go. Here on Story Street. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye.